talk about the economy. This is very important. I wanted to talk about this quickly as soon as possible. The economy is going to crash this year. Today's Friday. I predict. I know that's a long time. This year, that could be anything. That could be any time between now and the end of the year. But I really think, and I'm afraid that the economy is going to crash in the U.S., which means it'll take the rest of the global economy down with it, which is what it always does. And why do I say all this? Well, first of all, in the United States, first of all, here in the Philippines, we, at least in Davao, we might be getting back to normal. There's no more curfew. There's no more alcohol ban. There's no more gathering ban. So large groups of people can gather in Davao. You can buy and drink liquor in the restaurants, and there's no curfew. And tourism is open. The Philippines is open again for tourism. Seda Hotel near where I live is very busy. And the rumor is that Marco Polo will open up again. I absolutely love that place and I absolutely miss it. But what are the other factors? What's making me predict that the economy is going to crash this year? Well, in the United States, you've got inflation. Okay. And people are quitting or striking or not going back to work. So not only do we have inflation, but we have a labor shortage. And the other big news is that Warren Buffett, the Warren Buffett, supposedly the greatest investor of all time, he said crypto is that you should not invest in crypto, and also he said that first he said that, and then Bitcoin crashed, which is a cryptocurrency, and I talked about that on this channel. And before I go any further, I would like to take my take on the economy, and let's make this its own separate video. So of course there's this video which includes this story, but let's make this topic its own separate video as well. Okay, so in the United States, inflation is up. People are not going to work. They're not returning to work. They're quitting their jobs. They're striking. So there's a labor shortage. Effectively, it could be I talked about this also. It could be a natural, organic, unorganized general strike. And so all that, okay. So that's what was happening. Then Warren Buffett said that Bitcoin is worthless, or that you should not invest in crypto. Then Bitcoin crashed, which I did a video on before. Then now, more recently, the same Warren Buffett, supposedly the greatest investor ever, put in $1 billion, billion with a B, dollars, into crypto. So what is it, Mr. Buffett? Crypto is not valuable, or crypto is? Now, it could be just as simple as crypto's down. Oh, the price of crypto's down. That's when you buy it. And then when it goes up, you sell it. Could be as simple as that, right? The way I see it is, is that even before the Bitcoin crash and even before Buffett purchased these things, the inflation and the labor shortage and the oh, and I can't believe I forgot to mention the increase in homelessness. So homelessness is on the rise as well. There's a labor shortage. Inflation is on the rise. All that was happening first. All that in itself is an indication that the economy is going this year, or that the economy is going to crash. We don't know when. We don't know what specific date. It could be. It's already Friday in the Philippines. It's it's Friday morning in California. The market could crash Monday. I think it's going to crash this year. I could be wrong, but I wanted to I wanted to warn everybody, and then I'll also talk about what you should do to prepare. So again, the inflation, rise in homelessness, labor shortage, possible de facto general strike, which is organic and unorganized. All of that are indicators that the economy is not doing well and might crash. But that Warren Buffett said crypto was worth nothing, then it crashed, and now he's putting money into it. That says to me, like I said, maybe he's just buying low and going to sell high later. Maybe Warren Buffett is God, and what he says becomes, yeah. And then Warren Buffett said, crypto is worthless, and it was worthless. And then when Warren Buffett bought crypto, he said, "This is good." Anyway, it could be that Warren Buffett's opinion is so respected. Maybe just whenever he talks, they said something similar about Alan Greenspan back in the day. Whenever he talks, he just affects the market. But anyway, Buffett's purchase of crypto says to me that he thinks the market is going to crash. And so he's investing in crypto to diversify his portfolio. Now, when you're that rich, you're at $1 billion. Man, it doesn't really matter. You can write anything out. Ideally, all of us have $1 billion US dollars in cash, in $100 notes, in a safety deposit box in the bank. Ideally, that's what all of us have, so we can weather whatever storm. But I think, sadly, most of us are not that way. So I think the economy is going to crash. I think Warren Buffett thinks that the economy is going to crash. I think that is why he purchased crypto. Could also be crypto's low, so that's why he's buying it now. He's waiting for it to get higher. Now, what about the ordinary person like yourself or myself, who is not a millionaire, not a billionaire, not a millionaire, just the ordinary person? The ordinary person in America is homeless or out of work or just in a really bad position. But if you happen to be in a good position, it's so silly for me to talk about how should you invest. Most Americans, we don't have the money to invest. Man, we're just trying to survive. I mean, if you make $2,000 a month in California and you're single and you have no kids, you're surviving, if that. But that's 100,000 pesos. Hey, you can live comfortably like that here in Davao. 100,000 pesos a month. Okay, but that's just a big disconnect. Okay, now, okay, so what should ordinary people do? And what I mean by ordinary is You're lucky enough in America so that you have a job, you got money coming in. Hopefully, you don't have any debt. That's the other thing. Americans are awash in debt. They've got so much debt. Um, and you're doing you're surviving. You're paying your rent. You've got a little bit of money at the end of the month every month. What should you do? Um, Again, before Warren Buffett bought the crypto, before the Bitcoin crashed, before Warren Buffett said crypto was worthless, homelessness was on the rise, the labor shortage, the inflation, all that was happening, which could indicate that the economy is not going to do well. Okay, so what should you do with your extra money? It's up to you how well you're comfortable with it. You should have, you should start with $1,000 in cash in a safety deposit box in the bank. Check with the bank, see if it's worth it to maintain that much money in the safety deposit box. I'm not sure. Don't buy any real estate, not right now. Buy gold and currencies. Myself, I'm not very diverse. I am not a big time investor. All I have is gold and pesos and dollars. That's all I have. Gold, pesos, and dollars. Okay. And even then, of those, not a lot. But again, this gets back to the other video I did about Bitcoin. And so that was the solution. That's how you prepare for an oncoming if you think the market's going to crash, that's how you prepare for it. You put cash in a safety deposit box. You make sure you have a lot of cash in the bank. You don't buy real estate. Hold on to your gold. And put some money into foreign currencies. So ideally, I do business consulting. I advised one person who does have a lot of money. If you're wondering where to buy gold, you should really, the cheap gold you can buy at a pawn shop, but you're probably buying it for twice as what it's worth, because the pawn shop dealers, they've got to make a profit. So again, you got to hold on to the gold though. You got to hold on to it for a while. That's the other thing. We have to stop thinking I'm going to get rich tomorrow. You just can't do that. It's like my YouTube channel, man. I know, I've only got 10 subscribers. Please subscribe. It's going to take a while for me to build this channel. It's the same thing with your investments. And you can take, if you have gold jewelry, some people have, your wedding ring might be gold. Maybe you have real gold earrings. Maybe that could be valuable. Maybe not too much. Maybe it's only worth $100, which is what's 2,000 pesos divided by 50, or $500, or somebody do some math. What's 2,000 divided by 50? 5 into 200. Oh, that's only $40. Maybe you only have $50 worth of gold, or 2,000 pesos worth of gold, or something. Anyway, and you can always put your precious jewelry, also precious stones as well. Jade, maybe you have jade. Precious stones, you can put it in a safety deposit box in the bank. But so let me try to sum this up really briefly and succinctly. In America, we have a labor shortage. homelessness is on the increase. We have inflation. Okay. And people are not working. That's related to the labor shortage. People are not working because they're quitting, they're going on strike, or they're refusing to return to work because they're realizing, I was so unhappy at my job and I was not making enough money anyway. I'd rather be a little happier without that job, and I'm still poor anyway. So what's the point of the job? I mean, seriously. Uh, so that in and of itself, those 3 to 4 conditions in and of itself are indicators that at some point the economy is going to crash. Then Warren Buffett said, crypto isn't worth anything. Then Bitcoin crashed. Then Warren Buffett put $1 billion into crypto. So Warren Buffett is either thinking, oh, I'll buy crypto now while it's low in price, and then when it goes back up in price, I'll sell it. Or he's thinking or he's thinking, you could be thinking both. He's thinking the market's going to crash. The market is going to crash. I'm diversifying my portfolio. So I think the market is going to crash this year. Could come any day. I think it's going to come any day now. Could come on Monday. Could come, Monday the 21st. It could come afterwards. It could come the last day of 2022. Who knows? We'll see. Again, what should you do to prepare? Have some cash in a safe deposit box. Have some precious metals, jewelry, personal items, collectibles, also in a safe deposit box at the bank. Don't buy real estate. If you buy anything right now, make it gold because it's tangible. Oh, and also invest in foreign currencies. Myself, I have some pesos and I have some dollars also. Some of you watching this are like, yeah, right, Andres, I don't travel, man. How am I going to buy a foreign currency? You can buy foreign currencies from some countries. You can do that. You can. It's possible. So without actually needing to go, your bank might have that service. They might have partnerships with other banks, etc. All right. And getting back to that story of that other person, I was telling. I'm a freelance business consultant, so I was telling somebody, you should ideally. This person does real estate and has a lot of real estate, and I already has a lot of real estate. It's okay to have real estate now, but if you don't, you should sell it now. If you have real estate now, you should sell it. Yeah, you should sell it now. If you have some real estate that you want to let go of for whatever reason, now's a good time. If you want to hold on to it, you can hold on to it too. But anyway, so I know this guy. His thing is real estate. He's got a lot of real estate, and I advised him you should have 1,000. The equivalent of $1,000 in the bank of your country. I won't say which country. And then you should put the equivalent of $1,000 in euros in a German bank. And also in one of the Asian currencies, like Taiwan dollars in their postal bank. Postal banking is another thing we can talk about in a different video. But that's what you should do. So that's what you should do individually. Now, what society should do largely here in the Philippines, and that's the thing, I'm not hearing anybody in the Philippines talk about poverty. Now, maybe I'm not paying close enough attention, and I'll talk about that a little later. But every country should do what Scandinavia does, which is everybody pays high taxes. And because everybody pays high taxes, the government then has the money to pay for everyone to be educated, everyone's education, and everyone's healthcare. And just about healthcare, there are different ways to do it. The Swedish healthcare system, my favorite writer, Chris Hedges, he would argue that he has said that he would argue that Sweden has the best healthcare. Now, it's private, but it's very regulated. So regulated to the point that everyone can afford it and everyone is covered. That's different from the Taiwan system, where everyone has insurance. And that's different from the French system, which I think is a combination of private insurance and government help. But the point is, everyone can afford to see the doctor. And the English system, the National Health Service, NHS, is just completely free. It's completely free at the point of purchase. You go there, you don't pay anything. How is it funded? Through the taxation from the government. And, so that's what we need to do. We need to stop thinking, oh, how do I hate self-help. I hate how to invest your money channels. I hate that stuff. We all need to do what Scandinavia does so that we're all taken care of. Okay. You don't need to be rich. I'm a minimalist. I want to be rich, but only so I don't have to worry about money. I mean, look how cheap I am. Look how bad the audio and video quality is. Okay. And I'll talk a little bit about that more. I really want this channel to be substantive, to be boring, but in fact-filled news. Just the facts, ma'am. Very boring news. This is what happened today. There needs to be some of that just plain old facts thrown at you. Commentary too. But it's got to be based in fact. It's always so frustrating to me. I once gave this speech in Taiwan, and when it was Q&A time, somebody in the audience said, "It's not true that there's no healthcare in America. The private sector will gives everybody healthcare." That is such nonsense. That is such nonsense. The number is something like 1 million Americans every year go. No. What is it? 1 million Americans go bankrupt every year because they can't afford their medical bills, and 80% of those people had health insurance. The health insurance, which is completely private, no government help, did not cover all of their bills. So it's just, you just can't get through to some people. I gave that talk and that person made that, and I totally fumbled and I totally messed up my answer. I could have given a better answer to his question or comment or whatever, but such nonsense. It's like, this was in Taiwan too. And this guy didn't live in America. Obviously he had never, well, I don't know, maybe he did, but I mean, he was living in Taiwan. I should have said to him, okay, you know what? Okay, bro, why don't you go live in America then and stop living in Taiwan? Ugh. It was so frustrating. Oh my gosh. And speaking of frustrating,